Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Out on the edge of the battle and back, we've carried the weight and we've walked every track. From desert dust to the fire at home, we've learned how to fight, how to stand alone. But no one tells you what comes after the war. When silence is louder than the guns we bore, that's where we speak, that's where we heal. Stories too real for Hollywood reels. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see. We're warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. It ain't all medals and waving flags. There's pain in the silence and weight in the facts. But we've got a mic and a mission to share, to tell the damn truth, cause somebody's gotta care. We laugh, we cry, we cuss, we pray. We honor the ones who ain't here today. From basic to battle and back to the block. This is our rhythm of round table talk. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see. We're warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. Still heavy in dreams out of reach, full of lessons the textbooks could never teach. We're sounding off, no filter, no prep. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. So if you're born with boots or love someone who did, if you swallowed your hurt and kept it all hid, pull up a chair, you're not alone. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, where courage meets scars and raw honesty. This is our anthem, our truth intercept. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. For the ones still standing and those we've lost yet, for every single story we'll never forget. We speak so others won't forget. This is the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. Real talk, real facts, real life. HomeFront Sitrep podcast, where the mission continues.
Welcome everybody to a Monday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Was busy today, ran some errands, got the wife's oil changed in her vehicle, and then had to go back to the grocery store because, you know, I didn't have it on my list, so I forgot it. So I had to get some items for one of the meals that I'm cooking this week. And then, man, a lot of stuff happened, you know. I wrote an article for Warriors on a Cruise that appeared in the Purple Heart magazine for the March-April edition, talking about Warriors on a Cruise and what they/we do, hoping to raise more awareness for them. And then I think that's it, man. Worked out.
Yeah,
and then cooked dinner. So
cold day in the dungeon for you.
Yeah, it was chilly here today. I mean, we had snow, sleet, freezing rain, and it just stayed cold all day. And then the rain moved in, temperature went up a little bit, but it was still cold in the basement, you know. So got the workout in. Not the weight I wanted to push around today, but still got my body moving. So that's all that matters.
Heck yeah. No, so I went into work today and man, it was probably about, I don't know, it's 38 degrees this morning when I first got up. And on the way into work, it was a mixture of snow and rain. And then it slowly transitioned into nothing but rain, but the temperature kept dropping. And I think at one point it got to about 32, and it just rained all day. Yeah. The boss is like, hey, we're staying in today, which I wish I could have just stayed at home, but we sat in the office for 8 hours and got paid for it. So yeah, it's one of those things. Big shout out to 06 Reveille. They're over on TikTok watching us right now. Mr. Franco, he's over there watching us on TikTok. So I want to give him a big shout out. But no, man, it was just a really cold day, kind of uneventful. I'm working on a, a letter linking my my PTSD, my anxiety, and my hypervigilance, and all of that, my weight loss and depression, to my sleep apnea, so I can add that to my claim, which I reached out to Carmelo, who we met down in Florida. So I reached out to him and trying to get that, and I'm also doing a spousal letter for Julie, so she can sign her name to it and everything. And then I'm also working on another letter as well, linking my ankles, knees, back, all of that to my how to my Marine Corps service as an infantryman. So I'm working on doing that, which you don't have to really have a Nexus letter, and I don't know who locally does a Nexus letter. I would love to get a Nexus letter, which it also gave me the Nexus letter form, so I can print it out and give it to a doctor and have a doctor fill it out, the information. So that there's some things I'm working on. What's up, Vet Nation Cards? Will, how are you, sir? Over on TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, do me a favor, tap that screen and send it out, man. Invite people to the show. Today we got a really, really cool guest coming on tonight. He's a Marine Corps veteran, born in 1991. He's a youngin', so we won't hold that against him. And it goes right here. What does it take to go from?
They can't all be seasoned, Willis. Come on.
I know. They're still boots dust, right, Gunny?
I mean, he does have some gray in his beard, so he is seasoned a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. What does it take to go from wearing the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor to strapping into a stock car at 180 mile an hour? Man, yeah, that sounds like fun. So U.S. Marine Corps veteran turned professional race car driver, competing in the ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA Menards Series East, with an experience in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Dude, that's super cool to, be born and raised in West Virginia, which I think it's West Virginia, if I remember correctly.
And don't be messing that up, because you know how they get.
Yeah, raised in West Virginia. And then, the heart of NASCAR, the West Virginia, Tennessee.
NASCAR it's North Carolina.
Well,
Come on, Willis. You watched enough NASCAR to know that most teams are based out of North Carolina. I mean, the Wood brothers technically is Virginia, but they're partnered with Penske, so they're basically down in North Carolina as well. So let's say how it is. Yes, the South is the home of NASCAR.
Yeah,
but
the South.
The home, the true home,
definitely North Carolina.
Is North Carolina.
Well, some people would say it's Georgia because of the.
You can say what you want, but I'm going to tell you, the purist is going to tell you it's North Carolina.
Hey.
And my friends and my people that still work in the sport that watch the show are not coming after me for saying that it's anywhere else other than North Carolina.
Oh God, I love it.
So you can take your thought and go somewhere else.
Hey, I'm just going to say the South, man. I'm just going to leave it because I'm from Kentucky. We had a NASCAR race here, and I'm not even going to get into that debacle. But I love NASCAR. I've always loved NASCAR. It's always, it reminds me of that Bubba J saying, Jeff Dunham.
He was just here, and I missed him.
Oh, dude, we saw.
Yeah, I was out in DC, so I missed Bubba J.
Bubba J. Yeah. So, but anyway, so I'm super excited for our guest. Franco says he needs a good VA, or I need a good rep for VA. So I'm gonna reach out to Franco and hook him up with Carmelo down there in Florida.
For sure.
Because he says he keeps getting denied. So I'm definitely gonna reach out to or hook him up with Carmelo and say, hey, reach out to this guy. But anyway, man, I'm super excited. What do you think, Gunny? Should we go ahead and bring him up?
Duh. Is that even a
Duh.
question?
Duh.
We've
Let's
sitting
do
here
it.
running our mouth so much. He's been sitting there listening to us. Now let's get his opinion. Where is the
all right.
home of NASCAR?
Well, that's an open-ended question. I don't really want to offend anybody, but I mean, North Carolina is the heart of NASCAR, but there's a lot of surrounding states that give them a run for their money. I mean,
For sure.
most of the NASCAR teams are based out of North Carolina. There's no question that North Carolina is the racing capital of the world. As far as who has more fans, I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's what I see. NASCAR was founded in Daytona Beach, Florida, with the
Yeah,
official
that's where
organization.
That's where headquarters is. It's right
in
across from the track.
1948. Let's see. So that's all it's given me. All right, let's do this. Where was it originated? Oh no, I ain't.
The moonshiners running stuff in and out of North Carolina.
Yeah, let's see.
I can send you I got a movie in there. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
We got our guest. We're sitting here arguing about it. How about we let our guest talk about who he is,
all right.
what he did early life, and what he's doing now? How about we do that?
All right, Josh, do me a favor, man, and introduce yourself to the world of HomeFront Sitrep, if you don't mind.
For sure, man. So, what's up, y'all? I'm Josh White. I'm a Charleston, West Virginia native. I was born and raised in Charleston, West Virginia. I went to high school at Riverside High School in Bell, West Virginia. I started racing when I was 16, started drag racing. And from then on, it was pretty much game over. I kept racing, made my way to Circle Track, and 5 wins, 5 top 5s, and started climbing the ladder. ARCA trucks. Then I got my ARCA starts in the books by the time I was it was 2013, and got pretty much a full season in 2015, and a NASCAR Truck Series start in 2016. And I haven't gave up. 2022 I raced at Charlotte, and last season I raced at DeCoin and Bristol, and it's been an ongoing battle. It's been an uphill journey. I'm not somebody. I'm just like every other veteran in this regard. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not rich, because everybody has their own different definition of that. I'm very blessed. I have a great family. I have an amazing wife. And my fans are awesome. My sponsors, I love them. They're great. And so I'm rich in that regard. But when it comes to money, I don't have much. And NASCAR, especially, and racing in general, is a very expensive sport.
Yeah.
So, it's been tough. And it seems like everybody, or at least like the big corporate sponsors, they seem to like and want the 18-year-old kids, which is fine. But, I went into the Marine Corps in 2009. I was just turned 18. And a funny story about that was I had a girlfriend when I was in high school, and I got her pregnant. And by the time I walked for high school graduation, she, like, literally, as I was walking for high school graduation, she went into labor. Had my daughter 2 days later, May 23rd, 2009, and 2 months to the date that she was born, I enlisted in the Marine Corps. So yeah, it's I done 6 years. I was a combat engineer at 4th CB Alpha Company, and I was a Marine, and I kept racing, and here I am. Oh yeah.
What'd your command think about you racing?
Well, they thought it was really cool. There was other Marines that really supported me, and still follow me to this day. of course, after getting out in 2015, I've lost contact with a lot of them. Just like a lot of us have, it's kind of like graduating high school. Some people kind of stay with you, and some people just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
But now I am this year. I have started my own team here locally, a 2-car team. We're racing dirt modifieds, and
Nice.
we're using that momentum to go forward. And I'm going to reveal some really cool info to you guys that nobody has heard yet
Oh man, okay.
on the show. If you're interested,
We always love the tea, man. Always.
all right.
You and
Well,
your new kids
here-
slang, man.
Here I'll go ahead and let you have it.
Go for it. Shoot it.
I am starting to accept sponsorships and investors to acquire my own NASCAR and ARCA team assets
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
Wow, yeah.
to start
is
my
awesome.
own NASCAR/ARCA team. And, I'm not going to spoil it just yet on what number we've got with ARCA, but we have nailed down a number.
So you're gonna go the main touring for ARCA?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, whether or not any of this works out, I mean, that's to be determined. It's really preliminary, but it's what we're working towards. Like, that is our end goal. That's where we want to be. And this season, we're going to have fun on the dirt. I feel like, however many years that I've done this with the, on a national stage, it's took a lot of the fun out of it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is the determining factor of what made me start my own team. And there's a lot of different things that are, I'm not going to say not okay with our sport, but there's definitely a lot of room for improvement, especially like, there's a lot of teams out there that, there's a lot of rent-a-rides, but
Yep.
Yeah.
very, very rarely do you ever find a team that actually wants to be a team. Like, most of them just wants your money.
Yeah.
And, in my experience, it's 50-50 out there. Like, either you might get with a good team or you might not. I've had some bad experiences and I've had some good ones. There's some good teams out there too, but I'm ready to start my own thing and have be more in control of things and be able to provide what I need to provide to people that to bring value to different things, and to not be screwed anymore.
Yeah. Understandable.
Well, that's with any sport though. You always have that that hierarchy that
Yeah.
wants it a certain way. Unfortunately, I know we had Warriors to Racers on, which was Ed McLean. He's a Air Force veteran that created Warriors to Racers. Now it's endurance racing, so it's what an 8-hour race, and it's all veterans, like from the pit crew to the
Yeah,
driver.
his entire team is.
Yeah, the entire team is all veterans, and I think they have multiple teams, but they have to have their own car and so forth. Like there's a Tanya P out in the Houston area. She's got her own all-female veteran team, and she does racing as well within it. So yeah, it's just NASCAR has always been the good old boys club from way back when to now. And it was always hard to break in to that sport. Like if you didn't know anybody that was in the higher levels, it was hard. If you were a
Or
no-name,
you can't even say the higher levels, the teams, right?
yeah,
Because you look back in the early 2000s, Roush was involved in pretty much every level, right?
Yeah.
Childress was involved in pretty much every level. Some of those other ones were involved in almost every level, and some of those have petered out a little bit, right? So you got Childress that doesn't have a truck anymore, or they'll do a one-off entry for Austin or Ty or whatever, for a certain race. And same thing, he's down to 2 cars in Cup, and he was at 4 or 5 at the time. So, it's an ebb and flow when it comes to, who's the top dog and everything else, except for the past few years. It looks like it's been, Gibbs and Hendrick and, those guys. And, if you're not bringing money, you don't get your seat. You don't get a ride.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the sport that we love. And, it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but it is what it is. I mean, it's completely different now versus how it used to be. You're saying, you said that it was hard to break into those ranks because you didn't really know anybody. Well, I mean, you can know everybody and still not get a shot. I mean, with social media these days, I'm not sure if there's a single team owner in the garage area from the Cup Series all the way down that hasn't seen me or known about me or heard about me in some way. I don't know that for sure, but I mean, that's what I think. I mean, I met a few of them myself. I've even met Richard Childress. Awesome guy, by the way.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the veteran charity, I'm a veteran advocate too. Like last season we did, I started a program within Josh White Racing called Laps of Honor. And with that, for every lap that I race, I put on a flyer that I share on social media, a fallen veteran for each lap. So,
awesome.
yeah. So last season we were able to honor over 300 veterans that was fallen due to veteran suicide. It was huge. This season, we've implemented and expanded beyond veteran suicide. Now we're doing, pretty much everything. It's really cool because I feel like it's a way for me to keep the names of the fallen going. I mean, they, sure they get wrote down somewhere, but are they really remembered other than their families? Not really. And then on top of that, we've expanded to this year to offer support to Golden Star families. They can come out to the races with us, and we'll pay for a pit pass for up to a couple people and come out and have some fun with us. Write their fallen hero on a race car for that race and have some fun.
That's awesome. So something that Gunny and we talk about a lot of times here: a person dies twice in life. The last time when they take their last breath, and then when people stop saying their names, that's when you die twice. And we talk about it. You to keep their memory alive, we got to keep saying their name. And I love that you incorporate that with your racing, with the laps of honor and stuff of that nature. That's super cool, my friend.
Thank you. Do you mind if I share the names that is on our laps of honor for our next race?
Shoot it.
All right. We've got 22 names for 22 laps. I did that on purpose because the, dirt racing, what I'm doing here locally, I mean, it's not like NASCAR. We don't go do 100, 200 laps or whatever.
Right.
But I can do 20. I can guarantee that I can race 22 laps. Well, anything can happen. I can't guarantee it, but it can happen. Like 22 laps. If I do practice, qualifying, race, heat, feature, whatever, 22 laps will happen. So we have got U.S. Army veterans, Marine Corps veterans, U.S. Navy veterans. All right, under U.S. Army, here we go. We got SP4 Ronald Overholt, PFC Michael Gigliotti, Sergeant William Rogers, Specialist Kennedy Saunders, Specialist Brianna Moffett, Sergeant Dominic Davis, Sergeant Jonathan Woolsey, PFC Lawrence P. LeBrun. Under Marine Corps, we've got Corporal Kenneth W. Brown, Lance Corporal Irvin Jeannie Serenceros, Lance Corporal Jonathan A. Taylor, Staff Sergeant Michael R. Connor Sr., Lance Corporal Arthur O. Garza, PFC Michael Nolane, Lance Corporal Larry Scott Kennedy, Staff Sergeant Cortland Bates Wind, Sergeant James Reed, Corporal Mike Holmes, Sergeant Eric L. Canopa, Sergeant Enrique Ramos, and under U.S. Navy, we've got Petty Officer First Class Matthew F. Simone and HM3 David A. Condegren.
Let's take a moment of silence for that, because that's
Yeah, dude, that's a cool thing you're doing. So I work with a professional skydive team, and we do somewhere about 180 to 200 shows a year. We've done NASCAR, IndyCar, we do air shows. We do basically anybody that wants to pay us to come and jump, we're going to jump. And it's been more than a few, probably 12 years ago, one of the founders brought out a photo of a lady who was from the Cincinnati area who was killed in a training accident, and she was a pilot. And we jumped in the military bowl that year. And then that following year, I'm like, we can't let this stop. So every single one of our jumps is dedicated to a fallen service member or a fallen first responder. And then we also have an honor member flag that has probably close to 700 signatures from Gold Star families that we've had sign the flag. Anytime we jump that flag, we ask any Gold Star family in attendance who has not signed the flag to sign the flag. So it looks dirty when it's coming down, but that's all the family members of the fallen. So once that flag gets filled up, we'll order another flag and we'll do the same thing with that one. And then I know there's like oh my God, what's the Thunderbirds? The Thunderbirds do the same thing when they go to an area, say they go to Columbus, Ohio. They'll research and find a service member that was killed from Columbus, and they'll put that on the planes for when they're performing. And if they can get a hold of the family, they'll have the family come out and enjoy the air show on them. But yeah, the greatest honor is remembrance, right?
Yeah.
So, and as long as, like Willis said, as long as we speak their name, whether we knew them or not, their loved ones will realize that they're not forgotten, and their memories will never die.
Exactly. I don't know any of these people. I didn't serve with them. I don't know them. I wasn't friends with them, but they were. It's a mix of people that was killed in action, and some of them fell to veteran suicide, and what people don't realize they hear 22 a day all the time, but you have the war abroad, but you also have a war at home. Like, invisible wounds are real.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they say 22 a day, and we talk about it all the time. That number's so low. Yeah, it's low. I always throw 22 because I put it in quotation mark, because it's more like 45 to 55 a day.
Yep.
And then
everybody says 22 because the research that was done, right? So you look at back in the 2010, 2011, 2012, when that first research happened, it wasn't even half the states. It didn't include Florida. It didn't include Texas. It didn't California. Why? It's the largest number of veterans in those states. And then not every county that was surveyed has to report if it was a veteran or not. And then you look at the next survey that came out, and it's like, oh, the numbers are lowering. But again, no Texas, no Florida, no California. And it's like, if you want a true number, poll every state. Get the whole of the state coroners and find out what's going on. That's where you're going to get your true number. So we can guesstimate what it is, but it's definitely not 22.
No. When you mentioned that, though, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, it's
because that's been the numbers, that's been the advertising, that's been, the awareness number since 2006, 2007.
Yeah, something else to what you mentioned on research too. They've done, a little bit of research since then for sure, but at that point, we were still in Afghanistan when 22 a day come out.
Yeah.
And
We were still in Iraq when it came out.
yeah, so I mean, the effects of war is truly never felt until after that war. I mean, like it takes time sometimes for these things to really hit a veteran or service member. Like I got out in 2015 and it didn't hit me until 2017. And that's from my personal experience. Some people it takes longer than that. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes hits them automatically. Everybody's different, but my point is that you can't judge an entire population off of one date in the middle of or in the beginning of a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not even take into consideration like you said, they didn't even do the whole entire country. They just did select parts. And that's not accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So
All right.
your racing schedule, are you staying local to you? Are you traveling at all for the dirt track stuff? Because I know there's a ton of, they used to call them NASCAR home tracks. They don't even call them any of that anymore. But there's a ton of dirt tracks in the, south central area, if you will.
Yeah. So I'm racing all over West Virginia this year. I'm not racing outside of West Virginia this year unless something comes together on the ARCA or NASCAR side, of which I am working on and hoping it does. But we'll see how that goes. But this season on the dirt, we have planned up to 31 events. Now, racing can happen if we do 31 events or not. No, that's a different story. But
Right.
that's what we're planning on.
Right. So let me ask you this. All right. So here you are, you go in the Marine Corps, you at an early age, you had, the love of racing, right? Then you go to Marine Corps boot camp, you get the discipline there, you're doing your thing with the Marine Corps, but you're still racing. How did the discipline and mindset from the Marine Corps help you become a better driver, or did it have any play in how you approach driving?
Yeah, it's just having the no quit mindset. I talked to somebody earlier, and I told him, I don't know how to spell quit. It's not. It's not there.
Right.
Like, and I say that I know how to spell quit, but like you get what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not in my blood. It was instilled in me that that's not ever an option. So, like, until I am physically, mentally, or whatever, completely incapacitated, not able to, like, I will keep pushing forward. I'm doing what I love, and that is racing.
Yeah.
And so I'm really committed. And with that, I kind of have the warrior ethos. I mean, I still have that, my core values, and it's helped me a lot throughout the way. Especially with sponsorship sales and making friends and connections and trying to branch out and expand. And you know how it is. I mean, it's just like any other business in a sense. I mean, with a business, you've got to gain business, right? So
Yeah. So there's a question on TikTok from John Black, Salty Shellback. He said open wheel. So he's wanting to know if you race open wheel.
So this season I am. The dirt modifieds are open wheel.
Awesome. And then Frank DeMyth is a heck of a guy here. He goes, NASCAR driver, how the heck did I miss this one? Frank, he's in your area too. So just give you a heads up, Frank. He's down there.
Are you back in the Charleston area, or are you somewhere else?
Well, I live in Ravenswood with my wife and kids, but I'm in Charleston a lot. Like, I'm actually going to be down there tomorrow, and that's actually where the shop is. And that's where my other driver is too. I mentioned earlier, we have a 2-car operation this year. I'm going to be driving the number 76, and Buddy Brogan is going to be driving the 5B. And Frank, if you are close, come see me. Yes, I am in West by God. So April 3rd is the season opener at Ohio Valley Speedway.
Yeah, Frank is an author and veteran, and he a best-selling author too. I just found that out. I was watching the People's Patriot Project, and found out that he was a best-selling author. I was like, holy cow! Okay, cool.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So Frank is an amazing guy. He's got a story. He says he's in Martinsburg. Is where Frank is at.
Well, take a look at the schedule, Frank, on my Facebook. The closest I'll be to you this year is Elkins. I think I'll be at Elkins a time or two. It shouldn't be too far from me.
Heck yeah. All right. So you do the racing. You're I don't want to say former Marine. That's because you can't say former Marine anymore. You're a Marine, right? You're no longer in the reserves, right?
Did you forget your training?
Listen here, Linda.
Did you forget your training?
I had a brain fart there for a second. Yeah, you got a race card.
You need to go suck some oxygen.
I know, right? I need to eat some crowns. But anyway, so you did your time in the military in the Marines. Now you're got your own race team, but you also do your outdoor stuff too. You got an outdoors channel. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we have a lot of fun with that. I postponed this next season to come out next season. So, we would have been rolling out with new episodes now, but I just wasn't happy with the amount of content that I got last season. It just, I'm not going to say that I'm ill prepared. It just, I got out there and just stuff just all of a sudden wouldn't work or would quit working. And well, by the time I'd fix it, something else would break or not work anymore. So like by the time it was all said and done with, I really wasn't happy with what I had. So around this time next season, we'll have some more content to come out. We've been on the Pursuit channel and Waypoint TV and of course, YouTube and social media and whatnot. It's been a lot of fun. And this year I'm hoping to get some more hunts in out of state. I haven't went out of state since I done the season that we were on the Pursuit channel. So I'm really hoping that happens. I'm working on that and working that out.
Well, I can get you some hunting spots here in Kentucky. So if you're interested, let me know, because we got Camp Hero, Kentucky, up outside of Berea, Kentucky, that's owned by Army Navy vet. Yeah, Navy vet, and he lets veterans come up there to the cabin, go hunting there. I've been there twice. I love it up there. It's an amazing place. And then we got a couple other places we could take you as well. So it's his property butts up to the Daniel Boone National Forest. So he's got 160 acres on his property, and then he leases 3,000 acres. So he's got a ton of property that you could definitely shoot some content on. He's got side by sides, 4-wheelers, and all that good jazz up there. So
let's hook it up, man.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, and we maybe get Gunny to come hang out with us, because I know his wife wouldn't let him go hunting, but we can get Gunny to come down there and just enjoy the weekend with us.
I'm only allowed to shoot the 2-legged. We discuss this all the time.
I know. That's why I said you could come hang out with us. You won't even have a hunting license.
And I'm retired, so I don't even get to attempt to do that anymore.
I know, right? So, but no, we could definitely get you down here in Kentucky if you want some out-of-state content. And he works with Fish and Wildlife for out-of-state veterans that come hunt. So I know there's a discount on the hunting license and stuff like that. So we can definitely make that happen for sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Because that would give me some time to go out hunting too. I'd love that for sure.
There you go.
So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. How did you first get into racing? was it a family thing, or you're just like, I want to race, and your parents or aunts, uncles, grandparents, whatever, just
Everybody kind of gets a kick out of this. I mean, it's not something that's not unheard of. You know, like I'm not the only one that has been inspired by this, and it being the start of everything. But Days of Thunder.
Good
Whenever
movie.
I was 4 years old, I watched Days of Thunder, and I was like, "Oh, that's what I want to be." And ever since then, I just haven't stopped. Like it was so bad when I was 4 years old. I was raised by my grandfather, um, and so back then it was VHS, DVD wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
You wore it out, didn't you?
I did. I wore out like 3 tapes. He kept having to get me tapes because that's all I would ever watch.
He wore out the drafting scene.
Yeah.
The practice drafting scene.
Hey, I was so glad he didn't say friggin' Talladega Nights. I was
Oh my Lord.
No.
That's a good movie, but that's not.
Speaking of shake and bake, so Carson Hocevar said that stuff last week at Atlanta. He was like, "Hey, you just tell him I'm gonna get up here and we're gonna shake and bake." I was like, "Did he just say that on national TV through the team radio to his spotter? Awesome. Go talk to this person's spotter. We're gonna make this happen." Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. For sure. I mean, there's that movie for sure inspired a lot of race car drivers, right? Especially when he talks about going from the open wheel to NASCAR, and you've seen it, right? You got the Tony Stewart, you got the Jeff Gordons that have done it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see that for sure.
I think Ben Rhodes did it that way as well, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's from Louisville. I think he started local tracks and
local
tracks. He won New Hampshire. He won Kentucky in an unsponsored truck.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't kept up with him. Is he still in Truck Series or did he move up?
He is. No, he's still there. I think he finished 2nd or 3rd this past weekend.
Nice. Heck yeah. So, all right. So let's see.
I mean, I'm not ate up with it as much as I used to be, but I'm in the off season right now. I don't have any work happening. So what's happening on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Deeds house?
NASCAR, right?
Some NASCAR, yeah.
And
Supercross. I've been watching a lot of Supercross since 2001. But yeah, it's all about racing, man.
It is. So let's ask this question: why is representation of veterans in professional sports? Why does it matter?
Well,
it's a hard question.
So there's a lot of issues in the veteran community that doesn't get addressed, or if it does get addressed, not many people do it. And if a lot of people do it doesn't seem to really seep in very well, in my opinion. Like the Gold Star family thing, Gold Star families, they're the ones that, they were left behind. Their sons or, their daughters or, husband, wife, whatever, they're gone. And after they're gone, I don't want to say that they've been forgot about, but, them as Gold Star families, I mean, I feel like they really have. I mean, there's really not much out there for Gold Star families.
Yeah.
So that's been a driving factor.
There's more for the kids. Right?
Yeah.
The kids that were left behind, there's a lot more stuff. But for the parents, for the siblings, there's nothing for the grandparents. There's nothing for the aunts and uncles, right? So all those people loved that service member.
Yep.
And there's nothing for them other than the family and their friends. But over time, that all fades, right? So there are a few nonprofits out there that are doing stuff with the Gold Star families, but it's mostly the direct family. So the siblings, the parents, the husbands, wives, the kids, every now and again, like an aunt and uncle, if there's space available. But other than that, again, if you're not at that event, what's going on? I mean, they display their honor member flag, they display their, Gold Star flag, and people even know what that means anymore?
Yeah.
Right? We're so far removed from Iraq. We're decently removed from Afghanistan. What's going on right now over in the Middle East may bring it back to the forefront again, but a lot of people have forgotten. Communities definitely have forgotten. When they ride by the sign on the highway and they're like, what's this brown sign represent? In memory of, Lance Corporal, whoever, United States Marine Corps, Iraq. Then it's like, oh man, right? For that brief second. And then they're back listening to music. They're back having their conversation. They're on their phone. They're having a smoke. They're doing whatever they're doing. Or Memorial Day.
Yeah.
That's the only time that they're really thought of from a lot of people. I'm not going to say from everybody, but from a lot of people. And I'll tell you, most of the people that have been on the show, because they are veterans, they don't forget. I don't forget the 25 guys that I served with that are no longer here. The ones that decide to unalive themselves for whatever reason, I still know their names. I still see their faces. I still hear their laughs. Now, the guys and gals that I've met through doing what I do with the team and through our nonprofit that are no longer here, just meeting the families. I mean, there's a whole row. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I point to the right row here. There's a whole row of coins from Gold Star families that were given to me. I didn't know their loved one, but I know them now through them. That will always be displayed in my house. Anytime I get a coin from a Gold Star family, I if they don't tell me a lot about their loved one, I'll research it and I share it with my kids because it's important. I mean, they truly understand what sacrifice is and why we have the freedoms we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, like veteran suicide. Okay, there's a lot of charities out there to do great work. A lot of them, I know a few of them. Great people, great leadership. They're great at what they do. I'm not looking to take anything away from them. Like I said, they do great work. But I have a unique opportunity to bring awareness to veteran suicide and bring it to a national stage.
Yeah.
And that's what I have been doing. These charities that do great work, most of the time, don't have the access, the know-how, the connections, or the opportunity to be, on a national stage and to get their message out there, bring that awareness. And I've been saying this for a while now. The veteran suicide hotline that the VA pushes, it's trash. It sucks. But there's many different charities and different organizations out there that a veteran can reach out to as a crisis line that actually cares, that is going to connect with you, and they're going to know what the crap you're talking about, what you're going through. And instead of just searching for the next person to save, paying attention to the current veteran that is in crisis that could later turn into the person that does need saving. Every crisis, every veteran that's in crisis could end up being there. That's why I've never liked.
They're going off a script too, right? So they all get assist trained, and they all know what to say, what not to say. But most of the time, they're reading off a script, and you can tell it's robotic.
Yep.
Right. Instead of getting someone and having a heart-to-heart to, or just having somebody listen, because we talk about it, and we'll say it at the end of the show. A lot of times, we just need somebody to listen. We just need to vent. We need to get that demon out, and we'll be fine. We don't need this all the time. We just need to get it out, right? But it takes somebody answering that phone.
Well, I think a lot is, with veterans, if you call 988 and hit *1 or #1, whatever it is, a lot of times us as veterans, if we say, hey, we're suicidal or this, they're afraid that somebody's going to send, a wellness check, and you're going to be put in friggin' lockup for 72 hours and inside cold,
Yeah,
so
but
there's,
even if they send somebody and the cops come or EMTs come, I just needed somebody to vent to. I need somebody to talk to. I'm having a very bad day. I'm dealing with some stuff. And I'll tell you, the other about 2 weeks ago on February 19th, I was in the biggest funk and I couldn't figure out why until I saw what day it was.
yeah.
Come here on the 20th of this month, the same damn thing's going to happen.
Yep. And I'm going to reach out to you just like I did on that day. But so there are great organizations out there like Objective Zero. They have an app that they created that you can reach in there and say, hey, I want to talk to a Marine Corps veteran, male, female, whatever.
You can even put to the MOS.
Yeah, and you can like narrow it down to, like Gunny said, to the MOS, and it's an app. It's called Objective Zero. Really great app, and they've helped so many people. And then you got Warriors Next Adventure with Nicholas Ron, who's got his own crisis line. Now he's not a professional, but he is a veteran, and he has tried to taken his life twice, if I remember correctly. But he's got his own crisis line, and like you said, there's other organizations that do have a crisis line.
Yep.
And good thing about it is, if you reach out to Objective Zero or Nick Ron, they're veterans. If you dial the 988*1, you might get a veteran, you might not get a veteran. Yeah. Because a lot of times veterans don't want to work that job because they don't want to be triggered themselves.
Well, and you get compassion fatigue. And that leads to not a good place.
Yeah. So exactly. Do you have? Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Another good organization. You mentioned that one. That's definitely a great resource. But also QRF, QRF Up. QRF Up also has a mobile app that pretty much does the same thing. I don't think it goes as in depth as what yours does, but there definitely are resources out there.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, and the thing about some of the nonprofits is you go and you enjoy your weekend, your week, however long it may be, and there might be a follow-up a couple weeks later. Sometimes there's not even a follow-up, right? That veteran feels forgotten.
Yeah.
So what do? Yeah, they met these great staff members at this organization. Says, if you feel this certain way, reach out. Well, how about you as the organization reach out and say, hey, checking in on you. Even if you sign an ambassador or an alumni that's been out to that organization, say, hey, give this guy a call, just see how he's doing. You met him at Warrior Week, you met him here, you met him there. Bro, just call and check in on you. How you doing? That's all you got to do sometimes. It makes them feel like they're a person. It makes them feel like they're wanted. It makes them feel like they were hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's such a small gesture sometimes can go a long ways.
Yeah. So your schedule is on your website.
Yep.
It's on
social media on Facebook.
Okay.
What is your? Do you have a website, a direct website?
I do. It's joshwhiteracing.com.
So that
was my next question. If there's people out here listening that want to donate to help your racing for this year, or if there's a potential sponsor listening, is there a way to contact you through your website? Absolutely.
You can contact me through my website. You can contact me through Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all of them. And in addition to that, man, we've got a fan sponsorship program going on right now where, race fans can get onto the deck lid, like have a little decal of their name on my deck lid this entire racing season for $15. So it's really cool, after their name's on there, I can take a picture of it, post it up on Facebook. There you are. As sponsors, man, I mean, this season, we're able to offer sponsors really cheap options, man. I mean, we've got packages as low as $50 a month. I mean, from a marketing standpoint, especially like small business, I know there's a lot of veteran-owned business out there that, kind of share our vision and is probably, resonating with what I'm doing and, what we're talking about. If you want to support the mission, definitely get in touch. It's, I try to really work with people. And, we've got 2 cars, me and another driver. Definitely be glad to have you. We're thankful for all of our sponsors that we have now. They're amazing people, amazing organizations. We've got Victory X Financial, Bilson Arms. We've got the Marine Corps League, Charlie Matthias, Shammy's Cool Spot, Valor Pens and Coins, and Loaded Ventures. We've got a lot of good people behind us. Deep Cover Outdoors, awesome group.
So Gunny and I both know Brent and Brian Casey from Valor Coins and Pins. Amazing guys. Which I think I had told Gunny that they were one of your sponsors.
Yeah, I'll be meeting with Brent on Wednesday.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super cool that everything that you're doing, man. And I'm so glad that I reached out to you and said, hey, man, we do a podcast and we like to highlight veterans that are doing things in the veteran community and stuff of that nature. And it's amazing that here you are, you served your country, now you're living a dream of becoming, getting back into NASCAR and doing everything that you're doing. It's super cool. And then on top of it, you're doing the laps of honor and everything else that you got going on, honoring and remembering our brothers and sisters out there. I mean, that's super cool, brother. That is super cool.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We're going to keep it going. It's I feel like it gives me purpose to use my platform in this manner, keeping those that are no longer with us alive, and keeping those that are left behind, thought about. Hey, come have some fun with us.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, my friend. Well, we're definitely going to be talking. I know me and you had talked via a messenger and stuff of that nature, but I'm going to work out some things that we had discussed behind the scenes and see what we can do. So I'll be in touch. Let's just put it that way. I'll be in touch with you. But I do want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day and hanging out with us for this hour. It's super cool to see what you're doing, and I'm excited to follow your journey to see where you go from here. And if you're close to Kentucky, or if you come to race in Kentucky, I'm definitely going to come see you.
Florence Speedway is not too far from the house, and it's a dirt track. I'm just throwing it out there.
There you go.
I'll have to keep it in mind, fellas.
and then definitely hunting. If you want to go hunting this season to get some content, we definitely going to talk offline about that as well. So,
let's do it.
Because I'm sure Rocco would love that as well. To have you up there, and I think it would be an amazing time to be out there. So I'd love it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, brother. Well, we're going to drop you down in the green room. If you want to hang out and wait till we end the show, we can chit chat a little bit more afterwards. Or if you got things to do, we understand that as well.
I'll hang around for a few.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you very, very much, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. How cool was that, Gunny?
Follow your passion and you'll find your purpose. I say it every show.
There you go.
And that's an example right there. Josh is an example of following his purpose and finding his passion of honor, not only just racing, but honoring the families of the fallen.
Yeah, it's super cool that, one of his sponsors is Valor Coins and Pins. I seen that and I was like, oh, that's super cool. Because, of our close connection with Brent, for sure, Brent, like, I don't think I've ever met Brian in person, Brian Casey, but I met Brent several times. And it was just super cool to have that connection with him. And
I've spent a lot of time with both of them. You want a neat tidbit on Brian?
Sure.
He lives in a town called Coolville.
Coolville?
Yes. He lives in Coolville. I passed it twice on my way to and from DC. So every time I go by Coolville, I give a honk and just throw my hand up. But yeah,
Nice.
he lives in Coolville. Yep.
So he lives in West Virginia, I'm
No, he's
assuming.
not. He's in Ohio. He's close to
Oh,
the West Virginia border, up near the Hocking Hills area. But yeah,
okay.
he's in Ohio. Coolville, Ohio is where he is. Yeah, I sent a
Nice.
picture to Brent on my way out. He's like, "I'm sure Brian's home. Give him a wave." So it doesn't matter. Even if Brent doesn't say anything, I give a honk and throw my hand up, and whether I'm alone or if I got people with me, everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Nice.
Yep,
Nice.
Coolville, man.
Coolville.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it is that time of night, Gunny. Let's do it. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Always ready.
Gunny's words of wisdom.
Disrespect can permanently shut doors the apologies cannot reopen.
Say it again.
Disrespect can permanently shut doors the apologies cannot reopen.
Mm. Mm. That is powerful. That is, dude, that's real powerful. Because, yeah, I would agree with that 100%, man.
Yeah.
Because there's been some people that have disrespected me and they've apologized and I don't have anything to do with them. And no matter what they do or say, will ever
Yeah.
open that door back again.
You know, I get that it's, you're supposed to forgive and forget. But, there are some things that sting so hard that a piece of that stinger is still in there, festering,
Yeah.
and it just won't come out.
And here's the thing, they can apologize, but if they keep doing the same stuff, that apology
What's an apology if it's not thoughtful, and if it's not
right.
truthful, if it's
Right.
not heartfelt?
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm
Just
right
like
there.
the Veterans Day, thank you for your service. Are you saying
Yeah.
it or do you mean it? Right? You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell when somebody's truly meaning what they say, or they're
Yeah.
just blowing smoke
Lo-
up an exit.
Mm. All right. Yeah. Nah, yeah. I love that. So clip that for us, if you don't mind. All right.
It's time for the joke of the day.
Are you ready for this?
Probably not.
What do soldiers, and this is blanket when I say the word soldiers, what do soldiers want to know before getting married? The rules of engagement.
Yeah.
So stupid it's not even funny.
Yep.
Oh man, but anyway, here. I'll do this one. Who won the zombie war? Nobody. It was dead even. See, I'm not hearing whatever you
That was
just played.
weak.
It didn't even play.
Hmm.
All right, Gunny, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win, and surround yourself with people that are going to bring you up and not tear you down.
In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains, and together we heal, together we rise, and together we carry each other forward. That's so powerful because the key word there is together. A lot of veterans think that they have to do things alone by themselves. But ladies and gents, you don't have to, because you're not alone. And together, we're going to carry each other forward. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, sir. God bless you too, my brother. And we got to reschedule you to get you back on, Frank. Gunny, did you get his book, his audio book? He sent it to you. No, the
Oh
new
yeah,
one.
audio. Yeah. The audio.
An
It's
email.
already downloaded
Yeah.
on my phone. I'll be listening to it on my next trip. So, matter of fact, the end of the month when I take off to Maine, when the wife sleeps, I'll throw that on.
Nice. Yeah, I've already started listening to it. It's good. So far so good. So I'm excited to get through it. Of course, the wife got in the truck and she turn that off. I don't want to listen to that. I'm
That's
like,
why I said when the wife's asleep, or I'll just throw it in my earbud and just put it in this. I'll put it in my good ear so I can hear it, and then when she starts talking, I'll be like, not know what she's saying. Now I'll get hit. Right? Be like, what? I'll pull it out and have to talk to her.
yeah. All right. Hashtag be someone stranger, guys. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger today, man. When you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them and ask them, say, hey, how are you doing? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm living a dream. Then ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation, because it could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. This is where Gunny was talking. Listen, sometimes we as humans, we just want to get it out. We want to get it, the thoughts, the demons that are running through our head. We just want to get it out. We don't need somebody to fix us, because if we want somebody to fix us, we'd go see a therapist. Sometimes we just need to get it out. So just be someone stranger today, and then ask the next hard question.
Yeah, and it takes a village. Like Willis said earlier, we can't do this alone. You can try, but you can't do it alone. And two wrongs don't make a right, and two broke people can't fix each other. All right, you just bring each other down. All of us have a cell phone. All of us have contacts. Most of us have social media. Everybody that's watching right now has some form of social media. Just reach out. Hey, I need to talk. I need an ear. I need to vent. Who knows? That person you reach out to, they might have needed to talk. They might have needed to vent. And you called at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like Gunny says, reach out to somebody. You never know. You might save that person's life. So, I want to give a big shout out to our partners. I don't want to say sponsors, because they're not really sponsors, but they are partners. First up is Heroes Media Group. Adam Bird and his team at Heroes Media Group, man, they are phenomenal. I'm working on something behind the scenes with Adam, and we're hoping we'll see where that goes. But anyway, check out heroesmediagroup.com. That's heroesmediagroup.com. Up next is reachacrossamerica.org/radio. You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern on Reach Across America Radio. Up next, we got sameflagsameoath.com. That's sameflagsameoath.com. Matt and Becky Johnson outside of Katy, Texas. They're phenomenal. I love their shirt. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. It says Marine It Down. It's written in red crayon. Uncle Sam is wearing his. He still ain't washed it.
Stanky, man.
Yeah, still ain't washed it yet. But that is a co-branded shirt with sameflagsameoath.com. Go get the shirt, tag Homefront Sitrep in it. And man, I'd love to see you guys wearing the shirt. Up next is www.eliteengraving24.com. We have a co-branded hat, which Gunny's got it up right there. It's a Richardson 112. You can get any style Richardson that they have on site with our red patch, and we do red for remember everyone deployed, especially in this time right now that's going on right now across the pond over there. So check out eliteengraving24.com. All right, we've already talked about them, but Gunny's going to talk a little more about them.
Yeah, Valor Coins and Pins, Brent and Brian Casey. Brent is an Army veteran. They are the owner and operators. They are also the grandsons of the late Herschel Woody Williams, who is Medal of Honor recipient from Iwo Jima. If you need coins, if you need pins, you need medals, you need poker chips, they can take care of all your needs. Every single pin, medal, coin, poker chip that gets ordered, a portion of the proceeds goes to the Woody Williams Foundation to help build those monuments that Willis was just hanging up there for the Gold Star families. They're also the ones that did our HomeFront Sitrep coin. And if you reach out to Willis, they'll tell you the price, but the shipping is, there's a very cool surprise on the back of that coin.
Amen. All right, you got this one too.
Yep, RDC Shoes. Darren Davis, former Marine, former law enforcement officer, him and his wife started this brand. They are very patriotic shoes. They right now have the Glory Folds of Honor edition and the Patriot. So the Glory shoe is a red and white shoe, kind of like the stripes on the flag with a Union tongue. And the Patriot shoe has the Union on the shoe and then the red and white stripes on the tongue. Both are very comfortable shoes. I don't have the Folds of Honor edition, but on the Patriots, the top two eyelets are gold stars to represent the Gold Star families. And I know for a period of time, and it still may be, a portion of the proceeds from those shoes were going to the Woody Williams Foundation, and a portion of the new Glory Folds of Honor shoe, a portion of that goes to Folds of Honor to help support scholarships for kids of the fallen or kids of Purple Heart recipients.
And that's rdcshoes.com. So go give them a check out.
Yeah.
Frank,
Before you move up, Frank did a comment, best shoes around. I wore them with my tuxedo. Frank, I wore my Patriot shoes in my suit when I made a visit to the White House on Friday. And I have worn my both sets of shoes multiple times at black tie events.
Heck yeah. All right. Up next is HomeFrontSitrep.com. Go check out HomeFrontSitrep.com. We have the link to our shirt on there underneath the merch. Same thing with our hat. You can actually go to our website, click on the link, and it will take you directly to sameflagsameoath.com and also Elite Engraving 24 for where our shirt is or our hat is. So go check that out. And then Gunny, you want to talk about SOF missions real quick?
Yeah, SOF missions, Shield of Faith missions. So SOFmissions.org takes wounded veterans and first responders. They have a bunch of different stuff. So they have clinics, they have retreats, and then they have some online courses you can take as well. But they help with your mental, your physical, your social, and your spiritual well-being. Every single person that attends, your schedule is catered strictly to you and what you fill out on the application. They do have, and I should have looked at after we said it last night, they do have each year 2 women's clinics. They're small groups, 10 to 12 people. They try to fill it with 12, but it's all expenses paid. So go to sofmissions.org and go check them out. For the first responders that are listening that think they may want to go, on the application, you're going to see branch. Click the arrow, and down at the bottom after Army, Marine Corps, Navy is law enforcement, EMT, and firefighter. So they're all right there. Don't be alarmed when you don't see it, but it's there. Willis and I had a firefighter in our group with us.
Yeah. So yeah, go check out sofmissions.org. But it is that time of night, guys. Like we always say on Homefront Sitrep, stay safe out there. We got your 6th.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.